It's a brand new year on Sports Stars of Tomorrow. We'll put a bow on the 2012 high school football season by naming our Player of the Year and National Champion. We'll also hit the hardwood to check out a pair of the nation's top basketball players. That and more coming up next. Happy New Year, everyone, and welcome to our first show of 2013. I'm Charles Davis. 2012 brought us another exciting high school football season, and now that all of the games have been played and all the champions have been decided, it's time to pick our high school football player of the year. And for that, we'll go to the Southeast. Breaking records is a sure way to put your name in player of the year discussion. And Derrick Henry of Yulee, Florida, is graduating high school with quite a few. As a senior, he broke 3 Florida State records. He had 464 carries for 4,260 yards and 55 touchdowns. All new marks in the Sunshine State. His rushing total was nearly 200 yards better than the old mark set by former NFL running back Travis Henry. But those aren't the only records Derrick Henry claimed. He also set state and national records with 12,121 career rushing yards. He barely edged out fellow 2013 prospect Kelvin Taylor, who finished second on the state's all-time rushing list, although his 12,019 yards were accumulated over 5 years as he played varsity as an 8th grader. The national high school record only applies to 4-year totals, like Henry's, and that record previously belonged to Ken Hall. The Sugar Land Express held the national record for 59 years until Henry broke down the long-standing barrier this year. It's something that's still hard to believe for Henry.
It hasn't sunk in yet. I don't think it ever will until I'm done with football. But I'm glad to be a part of history. I'm saying to share this with Yulee and my teammates. It's a special moment for me.
Henry finished his career with 47 consecutive games of at least 100 yards rushing to help him get the record. He's unusually large for a running back at 6'3" and over 240 pounds. He's committed to Alabama as an athlete, so his position in college is unclear. What is clear, however, is that the Crimson Tide is getting a very talented player. Derrick Henry, our 2012 High School Football Player of the Year. Now let's go out west for an elite California quarterback. Northern California is home to some of our country's greatest minds. The Bay Area is the cradle of a melting pot that has produced a diversity of talent in all walks of life. Steve Jobs, Robert Frost, Mervyn LeRoy, and Clint Eastwood all hail from Northern California. In the sports world, there's an up-and-coming superstar who's worth keeping an eye on. This is Jared Goff. The senior quarterback from Marin Catholic in Kentfield, California, just completed a standout high school career. Goff threw for 3,700 yards and 40 touchdowns and led the Wildcats football team to a record of 14-2. Stephen Travers is a highly regarded sports columnist in the Bay Area and has seen a lot of great players come and go, but points out that Goff may turn out to be the best of them all.
Jared Goff is probably one of, if not the finest and most accoladed high school athletes in the history of Marin County. Marin County is not known to produce as many prep stars as, say, Orange County or a place like Florida, but there have been some good athletes who've come out of here. Pete Carroll played here. Most notably, I would say he's the best all-around athlete to come out of the county since his own father, Jerry Goff, who was a football and baseball star out of Santa Fe High.
He's a completely different guy than I was, mentally, physically, emotionally. He's got some qualities that I wish I had when I was playing. He's able to keep things in perspective. He doesn't get too rattled, doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low. And I think it's a real good attribute to have for the position that he plays.
Recently, Goff's dreams of a state title came up just short as Marin Catholic lost the state final to San Diego Madison. But it wasn't from a lack of effort. Goff accounted for all 5 of his team's touchdowns, 4 through the air and 1 on the ground. But it wasn't quite enough. That doesn't take away from a brilliant career that has earned him a scholarship to nearby Cal Berkeley. With his prep days now behind him, he'll be enrolling early to try and get a head start. And being able to give back to his parents is something that he's very proud of.
My family's been doing everything for me my whole life, and for me to go out and give them the opportunity to, maybe even retire early because I'm getting the scholarship and they don't have to pay for my college. It's just great to be able to, in a way, give back to my parents for all they've given me. My parents mean everything to me because that's what they do, everything for me. You know, ever since I was born, they've been nurturing me and making me the man I am today.
And staying close to home will give Jared's family and friends a chance to see him continue his career.
It's going to be really nice to see all those people there that I know for the next 4 or 5 years, and, you know, just being able to be there and around all those people is just going to be great.
He's always been a Golden Bear ever since he was a kid, and with Coach Tedford being let go there, we were anxious to see who the hire was going to be. When he found out that it was Sonny Dykes and the stuff that he's bringing to the table, the type of character, the type of offense that he runs, that made it even that much better spot for him.
Jared's head coach knows that players like Goff only come around once in a generation. He's as ready for the next level as he'll ever be.
You know, it starts with his just his energy, his leadership. He brings a great presence, you know, to the field. He has you know, some guys are super hyped up, rah-rah type leaders. He's got a super calm presence about him, sort of like Joe Montana, Tom Brady type of guy. It makes everyone stay calm, cool, collective, you know, in tighter, critical situations or in big games. Cal's getting a future NFL quarterback. He's got laser precision. I mean, the placement on some of the balls he throws is just in tight coverage is unbelievable. I think that's what separates the good guys from the great guys.
We'll take a break, but coming up next, we'll look at some top basketball prospects, as well as a Denver running back whose senior season was cut short. That's next.
If you would like to contact the show, connect with us online. You can like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter at SportsStarsTV. Sports Stars of Tomorrow is brought to you by Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealer for great deals today or log on to www.buyatoyota.com.
Let's go to the Northeast for this week's Toyota Top 5. Rondé Jefferson is one of the top wing players in the 2013 class, and he's the top player for Chester High School in Pennsylvania, one of the top teams in the country. Chester entered this season on a 58-game winning streak and is an overwhelming favorite to win state again in Pennsylvania. Behind the play of Jefferson, Chester could even be in the mix for a national championship. The long, athletic forward loves to attack the basket and get after his opponents on defense. This week's Toyota Top 5 ranks the nation's best small forward prospects in the 2013 class, and Jefferson checks in at number 3 behind the highly touted Andrew Wiggins and Jabari Parker. Now to the Midwest for another top wing prospect. His name is Shimi Ojale. He's a 6'6" forward who has been a valuable player for Ottawa High School in Kansas for his entire career due to his versatility.
I feel I can do a lot of things inside, outside, makes me a mismatch problem. My shooting makes people have to come out on me. I feel I can go inside and finish, finish over top or around or just whatever the team needs me to do.
Ojale is signed with the Duke Blue Devils, where he'll likely play a small forward. But his priority right now as a senior is getting Ottawa a state title, as they have been the state runner-up 3 years in a row.
I'm trying to get a state championship. For the last 3 years, we've been second in the state, so I'm trying to get over that hump. We lost 2 seniors, but everybody else was playing against us since we were maybe 8, something like that. So we all know each other. We really want this for each other.
Now let's head to Colorado. The Rocky Mountain State is best known for its breathtaking scenery, outdoor life that's second to none, and of course, the Denver Broncos. Just over 600,000 people call the Mile High City home, and they love their football. From the professional ranks down to the high school level, football is by far the most popular game in town. Pound for pound, Denver South senior tailback Philip Lindsay might just be the best football player in the state. That comes as no surprise to area football fans, as the Lindsay family is widely acknowledged as the first family of football in Colorado. Philip's cousins Gabe and Tony starred at Oklahoma State. His father Troy at Colorado State, and his uncle Tony Sr. was a standout at Utah. Earlier this year, Philip became the latest family member to earn a Division I scholarship when he verbally committed to play at Colorado. A quick survey of the Lindsay family reveals that there's one thing that coaches notice immediately about his on-field demeanor.
He's mean. Philip is mean. He's a nice kid off the field and all that, but on the field, Philip is mean. and that's how he plays. He plays, I think someone just mentioned the other day, he plays with a chip on his shoulder.
Oh, he's mean. He is mean. And I'm not talking about just mean in general. I'm talking about the minute he steps on the field and he knows it's time to compete. He's very fierce, very competitive, and he's willing to do anything he needs to get the job done.
He hasn't changed not a bit. I mean, he's always been real aggressive and always been kind of like a wild man on the field as a youngin' on up. I mean, I think more now, he's obviously more experienced with it being older, and he's just like I said, he's like a wild animal on the field. I mean, he's all over the place.
Head coach Tony Lindsay Sr. has been coaching high school football for the past 20 years. During that time, he's learned that developing a mean streak on the football field is a common denominator in those who hope to play at the next level.
He's mean, really, and to me, you have to be like that if you're going to survive in college and maybe go on. I think that's what of these 20 years of coaching, that's what I figured out. If you don't go in there with attitude, you're not going to make it. There's a lot of kids that come out and they're good, really good athletes, and you would think they would, but I bet you that's what it was. It's like you have to want to play, and you just have to be mean.
Because I don't go down easily. You know, I have a frame. You know, everybody thinks that you have to be a certain size to be a running back, but that's not true. You just have to have the heart. And my eyes really helped me out on the field.
From the day he stepped on campus, Phillip has been recognized as the best player on the field. However, being named the starter in the season opener of his freshman season didn't sit too well with the upperclassmen. But the decision quickly proved to be the right one, as he ran for 174 yards and 2 touchdowns. That performance quickly quieted those who thought that playing for his uncle gave him preferential treatment.
There was a couple ones that at the beginning didn't like it. They disagreed with it. But I showed it on the football field. I showed it at practice every day, and I got their respect by calling them out. You know, tell them that I'm not scared and I ain't going back down to nobody. And my first game, I actually went out there and I got a lot of people's respect.
And people think he's there just because of this, and you know you have to deal with that all the time. But the way those guys are, you don't have to, because he shows it. He shows why he's where he's at. And he could go and play anywhere, and I always knew that when he came in as a freshman.
Being surrounded by a family with so much college experience has been a great resource for Phillip. While the elder Lindsays had to learn by trial and error, Phillip has taken full advantage of the wealth of resources that surround him.
He's always asked questions about it, about just even high school. What should he do in certain situations, and not just on the football field, but in school and socially, and so it's really helped out to learn from our experiences so it can take him further.
The one thing that our kids have that me and Tony didn't have is us. You know, we coming up, like I said, we had to go through the trials and tribulations and different things to, you know, see how football was. Well, they have us, so they didn't have to worry about going through all that, because we knew what to take them through and how to make them work.
Unfortunately, a knee injury ended Phillip's senior season prematurely. But now he's working his way back, and his family is there once again to help him, especially his dad, who's always been there to talk about life beyond football.
I always like going bike riding with my pops. That's our free time, and I'm able to tell my pops anything. We're able to talk about anything. We never talk about football a lot when we're biking. We're talking about just life.
I work with his mind, okay, and I'm the one that we go, and like you said, we do a lot of bike riding, and we just talk about all kinds of different things. And really, because I want to see where his mind is. You know, I want to make sure that he's, you know, level-headed, and that, you know, we're not pushing too much.
You'd expect Phillip to push himself to get back to 100% so he can bring his mean streak to the college level. It's time for another break, but when we return, we'll tell you about one of the best in Texas and also look at our final high school football poll. Come back to see who finished at the top.
Sports Stars of Tomorrow is brought to you by American Family Insurance. Your dream is out there. Go get it. We'll protect it.
High school stars dream of playing in one of the nation's top all-star games. Every week, we feature one student athlete who is working to get to the game. Here's this week's featured player.
Get to the game, powered by American Family Insurance. Laquiviante Gonzalez, a star wide receiver from Cedar Hill, Texas, is a superior natural athlete.
Football's been a great fit for Quiv because he's able to use his speed. We call him a little cheetah.
In the 7th grade, Coach McGuire came, he said I was very explosive and very fast on the field.
Whenever people ask me about what kind of player Quiv is, the first word I say is electric. In space, he's as good as anybody I've ever seen.
Laquiviante is a leader on the field, and he takes that responsibility seriously.
When we play for a family. We say it's one unit, and he wants the family to have success.
Because he performs at such a high level, a lot of people want to be like him, want to follow him. His leadership is more on how hard he works on the football field to get to where he needs to be.
They all look up to me because they see that I'm a good football player. You know, I just try to be a good role model to them.
This is his senior year, and I believe he's bought into really being a leader of this team and taking us as far as we want to go, which is a state title.
A tireless worker on the field, Laquiviante knows he has to work just as hard off it to protect his dreams.
My dream is to go to the NFL, help my family out. For me to protect my dream, I gotta go to college, work hard at it.
Laquiviante understands what it takes to get to the next level, not only on the playing field, but in the classroom. He's an AB student, which I'm extremely proud, and he takes a lot of pride in that.
He'll come to me in the hallway, Coach, if you check my grades, because he knows he's got them up, and he wants me to give him that affirmation that he's done good.
He's got to stay focused because the sky's the limit for him, and honestly, if he wants to play on Sundays, he's going to have that opportunity.
To see more great videos and enter for a chance to win an incredible football experience in New Orleans, go to amfam.com/gettothegame.
Let's head to the Southwest. Johnny Manziel made Heisman history by becoming the first freshman to win the award this season. And while A&M appears to be set at quarterback for the next few years, they have added some quality depth behind him. Kenny Hill of South Lake Carroll High School is on his way to College Station after being named the Texas Gatorade Player of the Year. As a senior, Hill threw for over 3,300 yards and 27 touchdowns while rushing for over 1,400 yards and 33 more scores. His versatility led the Dragons to a 12-2 season, a district championship, and a run to the state quarterfinals. South Lake Carroll has a great history of not just winning, but also producing college quarterbacks in recent years. They've even put a pair of quarterbacks in the NFL in Greg McElroy and Chase Daniel. And scouts see a lot of skills in this 6'1" signal caller that indicate he can be a success at the college level.
They like that I can run, and then they like how I throw the ball. They like how I'm accurate and stuff. So, that fits into a lot of offenses.
So while Johnny Football appears set under center at Kyle Field for a while, Aggie fans can expect Kenny Hill to make an impact when his time comes in College Station. Now let's check out our final high school football rankings of the year and crown our national champion. There were quite a few teams worthy of the top spot, including Washington 3A state champion Bellevue, which won its 5th consecutive state title and 10th in 12 seasons. The Katy Tigers were also in the mix after going 16-0 and finishing as the top-ranked team in Texas. But our national champion is John Curtis out of River Ridge, Louisiana. The Patriots have been ranked in our top 5 all season long and went 14-0 to claim the top spot. Here's the rest of our final top 10. We'll take one last break, but come back to find out how you can be a part of the show.
If you would like to contact the show, connect with us online. You can like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter at SportsStarsTV. Sports Stars of Tomorrow is brought to you by Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealer for great deals today or log on to www.buyatoyota.com.
It's time to check the mailbag for a mixtape sent to us by a viewer. This week's tape comes from Edgar Sarmiento in Phoenix, Arizona. The 5'11" guard averaged 18 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists per game last season as a junior at Sierra Linda High School. He's hoping for more of the same this year as a senior, as he hopes to lead his team on a deep playoff run. If you'd like to be a part of the show, send us a DVD. The address is 3575 Lone Star Circle, Suite 116, Fort Worth, Texas, 76177. You can also post a video link on our Facebook page. That's all for our show today. Thanks for watching.
For everyone who's been a part of this one, I'm Charles Davis. We'll look forward to bringing you many more great stories all year long. We'll see you next time.
Sports Stars of Tomorrow is brought to you in part by...
We all have dreams, but dreams, well, they don't come easy. That's why I put in these hours, pick up those late night shifts. I know my hard work will pay off, because I dream of sending my kids to college.